Welcome to the 2023 Winter Classic Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. Now, here are your hosts, Dan Olds and Addison Snell.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another 2023 Winter Classic Invitational Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. And this is a big one. We're going to be revealing for the first time ever the results from the Oak Ridge Blast Challenge. Now, I'm doing this solo, at least so far, because my partner, Addison Snell, is still out on assignment. But I've lined up a special treat. We have Haya Nam, who for those of you, well, who doesn't know Haya, but for those of you that follow student cluster competitions closely, and that's got to be in the hundreds of thousands, Haya has played a key role since day one, right?
Correct. It's been a long and fun path since it started in 2007. And I'm just loving what you're doing for the competition now, for the Winter Classic. And it's just amazing how much the whole industry has grown
so much. And, you know, I don't like to throw around the word hero a lot, but I sort of am a hero.
You know, I agree.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
totally.
kind of consensus. So tell us how you started with all this stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me why I think you're a hero, but yes.
No, that's obvious to everybody. We don't need to go into detail. And I don't like to talk about myself. Everybody knows that. If I'm anything, I'm humble.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So how'd you get your start with student cluster competitions?
You know, I was a grad student at Livermore, and Brent Gorda asked me to become an application specialist for one of the applications in the first competition in 2007 in Reno.
The power outage competition.
Well, yeah, the unplanned power outage competition.
Yes, unplanned.
Yes. And I had such a good time there. I met Brent and Ricky Kendall and just got to be in the scenes, helping students with understanding the application, the test set, just being boots on the ground. And ever since then, I've been associated with the competition.
You have.
And in 2010, I was asked to chair the competition and was brought back again in 2015 as well. So I am a double chair of the competition.
You've been down the road. Always known as firm, but firm with the students. Sunny,
you know
giggly.
Me too well.
Yeah, this sunny, giggly thing that we're seeing here. No. You ran those competitions.
We were on a mission to make sure that these students would be ready to take over for us when we retire and to really, inspire them, to get them excited about high performance computing. We really, we were on a mission, and we still are.
And you've done it.
Strongly believe in just bringing HPC to everyone, because it's good. It's a game changer, I think.
It is.
To be able to, bring this level of computing to just everyone.
And it's like I told some students I was interviewing today that, if in your career you want to solve the world's biggest problems using the biggest computational hardware in the world, then this is it. Right?
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, hey, speaking of big hardware, they got it at Oak Ridge. And these kids were working out on the Ascend system, which is a training system based on Frontier. So let's take a look and see how they did it. This is by the way, this is the third time Oak Ridge has participated in our competition. So Haya, the problem that Oak Ridge presented is a traditional hydrodynamic blast problem. And we'll show a little video of it on the screen too, so you at home can see it. But basically it's an explosion propagating through this chart they have.
This is a classic type of high performance computing problem. It's something that uses so much of the system. It's a good stressor, and the students definitely will have some good experience, some good learning, and such a classic problem.
Yeah, they've come up with some good ones, and they gave them the introduction to a bunch of tools that you probably know that I don't, like Athena PK. Does that ring a bell with you?
So it looks like Athena PK is the code that they're going to run.
Yes.
And yes, and it's great for solving magnetohydrodynamics problem.
Yes, it is, and that's what they were doing with it. And then they also got into COCOS, which is for code portability, right?
Correct.
See, I got that much. Yay.
So Athena has a long history as a magnetohydrodynamics code, and that's been going through some evolutions to be able to live longer, have software sustainability. So it's really exciting that it's Athena++ with Parthenon and COCOS are all being added together, which gives the students experience with some modern programming practices that we're doing every day in our work. So it's not like they're using a problem or a code that was 20 years old. This is really
so real world cutting edge. That's great. Exactly. Now the other thing, they taught them about meshes.
Nice.
And that's something that was a game changer in our competition last year when the AWS Open Foam Challenge had them doing the motorcycle problem with airflow over the motorcycle. One team said, hey, could we keep the same accuracy if we made this mesh a bit bigger? Why, yes, you can. And they had a score that was an order of magnitude or more better than all of the other teams. It took them from 5th into 2nd, and they went on to win based on meshes.
Yes, definitely. If you can look at different dimensions to optimize, you can definitely win the game.
Absolutely. And then, the adaptive mesh refinement lets you go closer in some places and farther out in others, reduces the computing load, little more sophisticated. So what they had them do was combine all those tools together. Then they simulated the blast, answered some questions, turned in the results. And that was it. That was their week. So are you ready to see the leaderboard for the first time on the Oak Ridge Blast Challenge?
I can't wait to see this.
Here it comes. So, couple of teams, 3 of them had some problems. Texas Tech, Morehouse, Florida A&M couldn't quite get over the hump into submitting a result.
That's really common. I think,
is.
Right. This is a tough challenge, and anything can cause you to stumble. Compilers or just the code itself, working on whatever, the architecture is, any input setting. So,
and you've seen this, and you've helped teams through this, but it's tough, especially this is compressed into a week for them. They don't have 6 months to work on this.
That's crazy that they were even able to work on this problem in a week's period of time. They amazing.
Did. They put in the work. Let's take a look at the next tranche of competitors. We've got a wide range from, from 9th up into 4th, from 20 points for one of the Channel Islands teams, result not guaranteed team. UTEP coming in at 45, Prairie View, former champion, weighing in at 60. New Mexico's in there. Then we start to get up into the higher scores with Texas Tech, the Matadors, and Cal Poly, who's kind of from your neck of the woods, sort of, kind of.
Exactly. Cal Poly is just just down south from us. And so, yay, California.
Well, let's see if we can give you a little more California joy. You ready to take a look at the top 3 finishers?
I'm so excited.
Look at that. There's UC Santa Cruz. And then the other Channel Islands team, the High Performance Dolphins. And we've got to throw some love out to Jackson State. They finished 3rd in this. And this is their highest finish so far, I think.
That's amazing. I'd love to see.
Yeah.
So is this 100 points out of 100 points?
100-point scale.
Wow.
Yeah, we normalize everything to the top winner, the top score.
Got it.
But they did get 100 points from this. So
It's
that's
nice
great.
to see a California team knocking it out of the park.
2 California teams.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So let's take a look at the leaderboard before these results, right? This is just after LINPAC and HPCG, and we have the high performance Dolphins on top, UC Santa Cruz close second, Texas Tech Matadors closer third, and then the Texas Tech Red Raiders, New Mexico, and UTEP pulling up the rest of it. So let's see how it changes. Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready.
Okay, new leaderboard. We've got Prairie View in there, Jackson State. Their score was helped. They added a lot of points, but, they had a hump to overcome from before. Channel Islands results not guaranteed. They're in there. Morehouse is in there. Florida A&M is having a tough competition, but they've got a chance for a furious comeback. But Jackson State did move up 2 spots into 9th place. So that's good. And this is different than all the competitions you worked on, because we're doing these results like every other week. So
That's
we've got
great. I don't know how these students are finding the time to do this within their regular school schedule. This is awesome.
They work with a mentor for a week, then they have a week off. Then they're back in, then a week off. That's how we've arranged it. So this is going to go into early April.
Nice.
So let's take a look at the next chunk of competitors. Coming in 4th, University of New Mexico, your favorite Cal Poly Pomona, UTEP, the Red Raiders, and then Prairie View, who we saw before. Still very tight in there, don't you think? That's only 1 point between 4th and 5th.
Yeah, it still looks like it's anyone's game. My goodness.
It is. And there's a total of 700 points possible. And up until now, they've only had 400 points maximum possible. So, should we see the top?
Yes.
Top of the mountain? Here we go. The HP Dolphins, High Performance Dolphins, are still holding off University of Santa Cruz, although they closed up a couple of points with their 100-point win on this last one from Oak Ridge. Matadors a little bit farther back, but both the Matadors and University of New Mexico, they're still in striking distance.
So it looks like there's just such a tight run for some of these competitions. And we still have 2 more to do, NASA points and AWS?
We have NASA, we have AWS, but we have the interview. And the interview is worth 100 points.
Wow.
And you know who's doing the interviewing?
Who?
The mentors. I'm going to be pulling in a group of mentors from HPE, from AWS, from Oak Ridge, and from NASA to grill them. And you know how these interviews go. Our interviews are scheduled for 45 minutes. So they have plenty of time to present their presentations and then be judged.
Yeah, it's one thing. It's one thing to run it, but to actually be able to describe what you're doing and how you did it is another level. So it will be exciting to see the interviews. Are those recorded?
They are not recorded. We just sort of leave those between the judges and the teams because they can get kind of, I'm not going to say brutal, but the questions are probing.
Yes.
The questions are not just, so how do you like HPC? What'd you think? No, it's like, so what did you specifically do? Not that bad, but you've been interviewed when these folks get done. I know that I'm like happy they're not interviewing me. So there is a a lot going on. We have NASA that just finished up. We'll be doing a results show for that. The top three are becoming a little bit more clear. They're getting some distance, but as we learned last year, there's not enough distance when you've got 100 points per activity. You can't stumble. And with this, we're now over halfway. Go ahead.
How are the kids keeping up their stamina? What are they doing?
Red Bull, I guess. And they're kids. I mean, the thing that's pretty cool about the NASA one is that most of them were on spring break and did it anyway.
Nice.
So, if you're out there looking for some, motivated self-starters, these are the kids to look to.
So at the end, can I hire them? I mean,
yes. You want them?
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing that's interesting about this, and I think you saw it in your competition, is that students come in, what is this HPC thing? They don't necessarily know it's even a thing until they get in it. And then they start to get intrigued and they start asking questions. And we've had, from our competition, we've had students hired by Lawrence Livermore, Sandia, the NSA, and a host of other places. They're a hot commodity.
Oh, I agree. This level of experience, this full stack view of the world that we work in is very unique and it's very desired. So we are definitely interested in meeting all of them.
And a little bit of a sneak peek at the next results show. I've talked with NASA today. As part of the WRF challenge, they had them run GProfs, which I think is just fantastic. Teach them about profiling. Yeah, they did great. So, hey, was this fun?
Of course. Spending time with you is always fun.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, we're recording this and you've done a great job.
Oh,
you want to, should we get you a blazer?
I don't think so.
Comes with a coffee mug.
Oh, it's tempting.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, we will look to you to fill in if I need some more filling in.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time. I want to remind everybody out there to have your colleagues, your friends, your enemies follow us on social media. Let us know you're out